season 2 of Estate Agency Mastery. Now, season 2 is all about lead generation, and we've got a great lineup across the series, but we are starting maybe where you wouldn't think about starting, because for me, if I was starting my estate agency journey, I'd want to be doing kind of free lead gen. And this might not all be free, but arguably the reason I wanted to start with Chris K today, and Chris, thank you so much for coming on, is self-employed estate agents, independent agents that I know aren't very good at creating a digital footprint, and they don't really get the world of Facebook and Meta and ads and all this stuff. Chris, you are a bit of a legend in this space.
Oh, thank you.
So talk to me. If you are a new agent, or if you're an existing agent, you're going, what digital? I know I need to get into Facebook or paid ads, or can I do it organically? Where would you start?
Well, first off, I'd start with like eliminating a lot of the noise, right? There's a lot of noise in the industry about what you should and shouldn't be doing. I would pick one platform, stick to that, get some traction on that first. So either Facebook or Instagram, probably Instagram right now, to be honest. That's getting the most traction, and commit to posting to that daily. Now, people, oh, well, I don't have properties to post every day. Okay, so post a tip, post about something you ate for breakfast, post about anything, right? Just keep posting and grow your following.
But who's going to look if I put a picture of my breakfast up? I'm an estate agent. That's a bit weird. And who's gonna follow that? And do I need to use hashtags? This is a new world for me, right?
Yeah.
What's the playbook? Because I can use Chat GPT and come up with 365 content ideas for Instagram for estate agents. Cool. So now I've got that. Do I do a reel? Do I do a picture? Is the sizing I need to know about? The hashtags work anymore?
If you're a self-employed estate agent, you in this day and age, like, you really need to have all of those skills. So you should be able to get out there, record a video, and create a reel. You should be able to come up with interesting topics for your audience. And just, like the thing with the breakfast, I know that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but at the end of the day, it helped. Things like that, personal posts, help move the needle in getting people to know and like you. Okay. Yeah. And that's what social media is about. No one's really coming onto Facebook or Instagram to be advertised to. They're coming on there because they want to see silly videos or pictures of cats or like holiday destinations, and property falls into that because, people like to see properties, aspirational properties, shit properties, they want to see it all. And if there's you in the mix, showing a bit of your personality, what you ate for breakfast, the run you went on this morning, whatever it is, they start to align with you and they start to like you. And like, when it comes time for them to put their property on the market or recommend you to someone else, you're going to be top of mind. If you're just there always just posting a picture of a property and it's a bit boring, like, no one's going to align with that. So I think we do forget that sometimes. Like, they're called social media platforms for a reason. They're social. They're not. It's not come here and be advertised to platform, although adverts form a big part of it. Like, no one watches TV for the adverts.
Yeah,
it's the same with social media, right?
So a couple of things you've hit on there, Chris. So you said no like. We work on no like and trust, right? Yeah. And it's that if you follow Dan Priestley, the 711 4, and all of that good stuff, right? People. I say tooth because I'm from Birmingham. How many toothpastes can you remember? People can only remember 2 or 3 brands on average. It's the same with estate agents. How do you become the agent? Someone goes, I want to sell in the City of London. You need to speak to Chris Buckler. Or I want to sell in Sittingbourne. You need to speak to Sean Miller, right? And it's that piece because they've seen it. So I really like that. It's got to be consistent. You've got to learn what you're doing, and you've got to be real. But I guess the piece here is there's no instant gratification then. Is that fair?
That is fair, yeah. I would say, if you're looking to put out a post today or an ad today and get a valuation tomorrow, you're just going to be disappointed. But if you start sowing seeds today, start putting out content today that helps people over the longer term build a relationship with you, when it's time for them to take action, they've got a much stronger relationship with you than they do with anybody else. So you'll find if you start doing that daily practice from now, eventually when you've got a good audience and they, like you say, know, like, and trust you, you'll see that leads will just start coming to you on autopilot from all the work you've already put in.
Yeah.
I think as estate agents, we're always clambering for that person that's ready right now. And everyone's fighting for that, like, you know, that top of the pyramid, the person who's looking to sell today. And that's why you find, you know, they'll call in free agents. You're fighting over fee. You're fighting over value because they don't know you. They don't care about you. You know, you just want to free random agents that come around the house. But when you do the work and put in the effort, over time, you'll find you'll start going into these evaluations uncontested. You know, you go in, they know you. They don't really want to call 4 random idiots around their house. They want to call someone that they know is decent.
And that's when the fee doesn't come into play, right? Because like a referral, you're not competing on fee, and they don't mind paying that fee because they almost feel like they know you, right?
They don't even know any different. They just want you. Like, they just want you. If I want Alex Hormozy teaching me how to do marketing, I'm going to pay whatever he tells me he wants, right? You know, or I just go to some random idiot that's charging me 50p in a bag of chips. You know what I mean? That's a difference. You pick who you want, and in absence of having a relationship with anyone, they just go on Google and go, yeah, that one.
Okay, fine. So if we fast forward, right now, we are posting every day. We are engaging on the platform. One of the things my American counterparts talk about is, hey, buddy, you need foreplay. And I'm saying, calm down. But essentially go into the platform and warm it up before you just put your post in, right? So what's your kind of best practice or hint or tip on foreplay? And taking it even further, talk to me about how you get people to engage with the post you put out, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're spending all this time and you're getting 6 likes and you don't know if people are watching it. A good friend of mine, he goes, I follow, for example, the Instagram CEO who puts hints and tips out every week. How do I, now I'm doing it, how do I get more people to see it?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. And the caption and the hashtags and the content will all help the algorithm understand who your audience is. You know, you can also do some stuff with your settings to make sure it knows, but that is that's a longer game. You know, the truth is, if you've got 100 followers, not many people are going to be seeing your post, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be putting them out, because over time what you'll find is, let's say Instagram, for example, when you're looking in your insights, you'll see that it's trying to push your post to non-followers. So it's very important for it to be able to understand what your post is about, so it can show it to people with similar interests. So I would be talking about the things that are of particular interest to my ideal customer. And I find that with estate agents, and you know, I've been a victim of this myself, is we don't really understand who our ideal customer avatar is. And what I mean by that is, like, if you were to pick the one ideal perfect person that you could sell your service to tomorrow, who is it? What's their gender? What do they like to eat for breakfast? What websites are they visiting? What school did they go to, right? And build your content around that person. What you'll find is, when you're constantly talking to that person, more of them will start to align with your content. And Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever will understand your audience and start pushing it out to more and more people. How you then get them to engage, I mean, trying to get an audience of 100 people to engage with you is like, it's going to be very, very difficult. You know, I like have maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people, and even that's hard, right? But you know, once you start to have a bit of an audience and people liking your posts and commenting, and then you can always use like comment in the post and I'll send you this, or comment below if you want to hear more, or send this to a friend that you think it will resonate with. So there are ways to get your post shared and stuff. But for now, I would just focus, if you're just starting out, just focus on getting your brand out there. And when I mean your brand, I mean you as a self-employed agent, whatever banner you come under, right? Your brand is you. That's just the security blanket, the franchise or whatever, right? But the brand is you, and personal brand is really important in this space.
Okay, so I'm getting stuff out there now. I've got a bit of traction. I'm using really good hooks, so my videos are going further, right? I am following the Instagram CEO's weekly update, so I'm getting hints and tips. Like you said at the very start of this podcast, you need to be understanding the platform and reels. Like that's a non-negotiable now.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get some following. And actually, I got called into a vow the other day, and they said, "Oh, I know who you are because I see you on Instagram." And I'm going, "Hallelujah!"
There you go. That's it.
Life is great. Now I'm going. This social media stuff works. I wish I would have done it sooner. I'm sure you hear that all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
I want to start paying for leads now.
Yeah.
That's what a meta suite. And what would you do? Where would you go for learning? Would you find a resource? I know this is a space that you could kind of commercially work in. How do I take that next step? Where can I go? Who can I follow? What can I do?
Okay, so there's a couple of things at play here, right? First of all, I honestly believe, again, independent estate agents should have the skill, just basically to be able to understand it, so they're not getting flipping ripped off, if anything else, right? But we got to remember at the end of the day as well that you are an estate agent. That's your job. Go do that, right? If you want to be successful with ads, get an expert in that to do it for you, but you should have a good understanding of what's going on. If you do want to do it yourself, these are the like you said, non-negotiables that I think every agent should have. First, it's a Google search ad. You want to be there when someone types in best estate agent near me, how much is my house worth, right? Whatever it is.
And sorry, and on that, so you come up as opposed to all the organic people below, right? You're at the top, so you're likely to get a click as opposed to people scrolling down in some instances, right?
Let's cover something for a sec. Organic on Google now is bullshit. Like, people been paying SEO and all that to try and get to the top of Google. Forget it. It's a pay-to-play platform. Google over the last few years have done their best to bury organic results. I don't know what's going to happen in the future with AI and all that stuff, but currently you go onto Google, you type your search in, the first thing you see is 3 ads. Then you see the map. Then you see another 3 results there, and maybe sometimes a 4th an ad. Like, you've got to scroll down quite a long way to get to organic results. So
gold. All right. I like this. So how much is it going to cost me? Because that's what's going to go through all of our listeners and viewers' heads now. All right. So first thing you've said, Chris, I need to get paid for Google ad. So I'm in the top 3 for estate agents near me, or estate agents in Coventry or Birmingham, Belfast, Bognor Regis, whatever. What should I do a daily spend? Like, just roughly throw some figures out. What would that
cost? Where you are. Like, if you're in London, you're going to have deep pockets because you're going to be fighting with the big brands, okay? But it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Yeah, I'd start, if I've got a small budget, you could start with £5 or £10 a day. That's like 150 to 300 quid a month. That's going to get you. You're not going to be there all the time, but you will be there sometimes. Yeah. So, and that's better than nothing. So, and you'll start to generate leads with that. So I would do that. Like, start to generate traffic to your website from Google.
Let's say I'm in the middle of the country. I'm spending 300 quid with a half decent. I'm even doing this myself because I've taught myself for a half decent person. So let's say that whole 300 quid's going on ad spend.
Yeah.
Roughly, and I'm really dragging you over the coals here. How many clicks or leads would you reckon I'd get?
Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're driving people to your traffic, if you're driving traffic straight to your website, the amount of leads is going to heavily depend on the quality of your website. Okay. Yeah. So, we can drive them all there. We can drive you thousands of leads, but if your website's shit and there's no book a val button, you're not going to get any leads, right? So something that we do for some of our clients is to create a landing page and put a lead magnet there that we can convert people into, right?
Let's say I've got a Chris K lead magnet page then, and you've split tested it and you know what works. Then roughly 300 quid a month in Birmingham, how many leads would you reckon?
Well, I've got an account in front of me, and I can see that this account's in Bishop Stortford, and they generated 105 leads in the last 30 days.
Okay.
That's name, email address, telephone number, and address. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are spending £10 a day on Google. So that's 300 quid a month there. And a retargeting ad on Facebook at another £10 a day. But the Facebook ad is not generating leads. That's just keeping them top of mind. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no call to action there or anything like that. It's literally an ad that people see if they visit the client's website, just to keep their brand top of mind. A bit like when you check out a big brand online and then you start to see their ads everywhere. Same thing. So you can expect that kind of level. That's pretty decent. But rule of thumb, anywhere between £5 and £10 a lead, you know, a proper lead on Google is really good.
So I think most listeners that listen to that go, actually, if I'm not doing that, Jesus, I should be doing that, because I spend so much time on door knocking and direct mail and and all the other canvassing things.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing that, I'm feeling pretty silly right now.
You should still be doing those things. Let's just get that out.
Oh yeah, it has to be omnipresent. Don't get me wrong.
You should still be doing those things. What
Yeah.
I do find with a lot of agents that I speak to is all of those things are really disjointed. So one never leads to another. And I'm like, well, if you're doing door knocking, why haven't you got a QR code on there that goes to your website so that when they go there, they're now seeing your Facebook ad? So it brings it all back in, right?
And that's, you know, that's what I'm trying to piece together on this series too. It has to be omnipresent. It is
it's omnipresent. It's all one ecosystem, one thing that just feeds. There should never be a dead end. So when I'm looking at someone's marketing, I'm looking at where's the dead ends. You know, I use this thing that if this, then what? If they click there, then what? If they don't subscribe, then what? Right? And just keep going so that you've got all those dead ends covered. Sorry, what was the question? I skipped the question. What
no. So you've nailed it. To be fair, we've got 5 minutes left, right? Because these are short form podcasts, and you've given us a lot of gold already. Give me 2 more things digitally that I should be paying for.
Well, Google ad, Facebook retargeting ad, tracing cold leads with Facebook is a non-starter. Just don't bother. You're just going to throw away your marketing budget. You can pay now. I mean, bit of self-promotion. We've just launched an AI ad launcher. Great piece of kit. Type your business URL in, put a bit of money into it, and it will write your ads and optimize them for you. You could do that if you really don't want to get involved. Follow some people online that are in the space. Myself, there's others out there. I'm not going to mention their names because they're all shit.
How about people we should follow, Chris? Non-industry.
Non-industry, follow Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard. These are names that I would be following just in terms of mindset and productivity and marketing. And yeah, you can use I steal their content all the time. Like
R&D, right?
Yeah, I steal their content. I find out what's going on, and I post it on my page. You know, people that are following you, going back to the people that follow you, they don't all just want to be hearing about property all the time. You know, you might want to give them some mindset stuff, just so you up your followers, as long as they're interested in what you're doing. And at the end of the day, it's very hard to just get followers in your area on Instagram, right? You're going to get a following, quite a wide following.
All right, final question for me then.
Yeah.
When clients come to you, you want to just, I'm sure you don't, this is my words, not yours, Chris. You want to give them a bit of a slap, right? You're like, just freaking listen to me, or do it this way, or you're making so many mistakes. What's the one mistake you see agents make? And you're like, if they were to just stop this or tweak it slightly, they'd stop the funnel falling over, right? Or that waste wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you see that we can all take away and go and implement right now?
Yeah, so a lot of waste is happening on Facebook. So for example, when you're posting new properties, like I always see, I don't know where they've got the template, but everyone seems to be following the same format, a bit of blurb, emojis with the numbers of bedrooms, and then click here to view the property, or here's my phone number, or here's my email. No one browsing Facebook is going to send you an email. No one browsing Facebook is going to pick up the phone and ring you, because that, God forbid, anyone picks up the phone, right? So that's two wasted calls. And then if they click the link, which is the most likely action that they're going to take, and go view the property on your website, if they don't like it, they're just going to bounce. And more often than not, that agent doesn't even have tracking on the website. So like, it's just lost.
Yeah.
So we got to remember that Facebook is like one of the biggest databases in the world, right? So let's start taking that information off Facebook and putting it into our database. So this is what I would recommend. Whenever you post property as coming soon, here's the blurb. If you want to be one of the first people to see it, click here to register your interest. Okay. Then now, when you send them the details, if they don't like it, well, at least you've got their information. And a lot of the time, those people that are clicking that link to register, they've got something to sell. Like, a lot of buyers have got something to sell. And when you're like out there just going, please book a valuation with me, book a valuation, book a valuation, book a valuation, they're like, no, I'll do that when I'm ready.
Yeah.
But when you've got the bait of a property going, hey, I've got this property, who wants to see it? Yeah, I want to see it. Oh, cool.
And then it's so good because you're data capturing, you're building your database, which is the whole nother podcast, right? And then when they go, do you know what, that call with Chris K was really good, the agent. Do you know what, do you mind valuing my, or you ask the question, because a lot of agents don't, right? So you've got to be, in a previous world, I used to be own a couple of Keller Williams market centers, and I learned so much from the American counterparts. But one of the exercises I stole from there was I'd get people to get £20 note and a lighter. And I'd go light it, and they go, what do you mean? I'm like, if you're not building your database daily, that's what you're doing to future business. And that's almost a theme you've touched upon today.
Yeah. So just remember, if you give them the link, they're gone. That's it, they're gone. By the time they click it and then they get distracted by a YouTube video, whatever they're doing, they're gone. But making them register
for early access.
Yeah, you don't even have to keep coming up with the lead magnets. Your properties are your lead magnets, right? That's what attracts people in. That's literally the bait. The best bait you've got is the properties you have.
Chris, this I could talk to you for hours more. This is a short form podcast, so agents can take it in. No doubt we'll get you on another time, but thank you so much.
No worries, my man.
Cheers.
Take care. Good luck.